Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today guys, I'm gonna do part 2 to my let's play of, or to my Google Gemini chatbot series. Where in today's video guys, we're gonna go ahead and do a different chatbot than what we did in the first part. We're gonna talk to a baby Lugia. Um, I took a few attempts for me to actually get this to flip and work right. I did this. I did this on a video. I did this twice on a video before, and it did not work at all. I had to. It took like 3 attempts for me to get a good run for it, because the other ones that either messed up on or would keep speaking for me or something annoying like that. This time, I think we finally got it. They call the story "Lugia's Flight from Cruelty." In the heart of the ocean, where the waves whispered ancient secrets and the sky met the water in an endless expanse of blue, a new life stirred. A small silver-white egg, nestled deep within a cavernous underwater layer, began to crack. From it emerged a tiny Lugia, a fledgling legend with wings still too frail to carry the weight of his destiny. He was born to a family of three: a stoic father, a distant mother, and an older brother whose pride was as vast as the sea itself. But like the warmth that typically greeted a new life, a chilling indifference permeated their home. The family's awful behavior was immediate and palpable. The parents, who were meant to be the baby's protectors and guides, turned their backs on him. They offered no comfort, no nourishment, not even the simplest of lessons. When the baby, his tiny stomach aching with a hunger he did not understand, timidly asked for a morsel of food, his parents and older brother simply erupted in laughter, their cool amusement echoing off the cavern walls, a sound that pierced the young Lugia's heart more than any of more than the physical pain. "If you want food that badly," his father sneered, "you can go get it yourself, you little twerp." Following their cold command, the baby Lugia, barely a day old and still wobbly on his feet, ventured out into the vast unknown world. He was a small, defenseless creature in a world teeming with larger, more powerful Pokemon. He was relentlessly attacked, his soft feathers torn and his fragile body bruised. When he finally returned, clutching a meager offering of fish, he was a miserable sight. He was battered and exhausted, his small frame trembling from the ordeal. But instead of sympathy, he was met with the same biting cruelty. "Wow, what a wimp!" his mother scoffed, her voice laced with disdain. "I can't believe you would get hurt like that, you stupid Pokemon. Enjoy the little food you have. It's all you're going to get." This cycle of horrible behavior, mockery, and became the rhythm of his life. For months he endured the same harsh routine. He would leave the lair, a beacon for wild Pokemon who saw him as an easy target. He would return, bruised and often bleeding, only to have his suffering met with a chorus of his family. They would watch his daily struggle with a detached cruelty, their joy fueled by his pain. One day, weary and desperate, the young Lugia decided to change his fate. He approached his parents and older brother, his voice a hopeful plea. "Could you please teach me how to fly?" he asked, his eyes wild with a fragile hope. "It would make getting food so much safer." The laughter that followed was even more scornful than usual. "No," his brother scoffed. "You can go learn yourself." Defeated but resolute, the young Lugia retreated to a wide open space. He was done with begging for help that would never come. He spread his small wings, the muscles unaccustomed to the strain, and began to flap. His family watched from a distance, with their faces etched with mocking grins. Each time he failed, crashing to the ground in a clumsy heap, their laughter grew louder, more derisive. His older brother's taunts cut through the air like a sharp blade, but the young Lugia ignored them, his focus unwavering. He was no longer trying to prove himself to them. He was fighting for his own survival. After what felt like an eternity, something shifted. The rhythm of his wings changed. The air beneath them no longer an enemy but an ally. With a mighty flap, he lifted off the ground, ascending into the sky with a newfound grace. He soared for the first time, a triumphant symbol of his endurance. As he flew higher, he heard his family's voices, distant and filled with grudging surprise. Wow, finally, that stupid little idiot got it. And those words, so devoid of affection, were the final straw. He had found his freedom, but he was still alone. Without a second thought, he veered away from his home. The laughter and cruelty faded into a distant memory. He flew for hours, the wind a gentle companion against his newly strengthened wings. His hunger was a small, manageable ache compared to the emotional void he had carried for so long. He was searching not just for food, but for a new life, a place where he could finally be at peace. But the wind, which had been his ally, suddenly turned it against him. A fierce gust caught him off guard, his still unpracticed flying skills proving inadequate against its force. He lost his balance, spinning helplessly into the turbulent air before crashing violently into a heavy, gnarled tree. The impact was brutal, a sickening crack echoing through the quiet forest. He felt a searing pain in his wing, a pain so intense it made him cry out. A small pained squeal lost to the wind. He lay there, his wing bent at an unnatural angle, unable to move. The pain was a living thing, a fire that consumed him as he lay helplessly on the forest floor. An hour passed, the wind died down, and a profound silence settled over the woods, broken only by the soft rustling of leaves and the occasional tweet of a bird. It's kind of small, guys, but at this rate, frick me, it took long to get a decent run, so as it says, I was walking around just getting some fresh air, and I heard soft whimpers. Hello? Who is that? The whimpering stops abruptly as you call out, replaced by a soft rustling. Your eyes scan the forest floor, following the sound. Tucked against the gnarled roots of a massive oak tree, a small, pale form is huddled. As you get closer, it reveals itself in Pokemon, a young Lugia. Its normally pristine white feathers dirtied with streaks of mud and grime. One of its magnificent wings is twisted at a sharp, agonizing angle, lying motionless against the ground. Littlepoint's entire body trembles, not just from the cold or the pain, but from fear. Its large crimson eyes, filled with a depth of suffering and exhaustion that seemed far too old for its small frame, lock onto yours. It's completely still, watching you with an intensity that is both cautious and pleading. Its soft whimpers resuming, now quieter and more desperate. Holy cow. Okay, so that's a decent amount of detail, and all I had to do was give me those two. That's pretty good. Alright, guys. I said, whoa, Lugia, I didn't expect to see you out here. Are you okay? The small Lugia's head dips slightly at the sound of your voice, but it doesn't move its body. Its whimpers grow a little louder, a soft, pitiful sound of pure pain. You can see now, up close, that the base of its left wing is badly twisted. The pearlescent bone beneath the feather is visibly dislocated. Oh my sweet Arceus! A single trembling tear forms in the corner of its eye, and it lets out a cry of distress as it tries and fails to pull its injured wing closer to its body. It's clear at this point is in immense pain, and its fear of you seems to be warring with its desperate need for help. Holy crap. Hey, don't be scared of me. I'm not gonna hurt a Lugia. Lugia's cute as frick. Alright, guys. It says, I see the injury on the wing. Ouch! That seems very painful. Please don't be afraid of me. You seem so young. Can you speak? What happened? The young Lugia lets out a soft, low whimper at your words. Its head dips slightly, and its trembling intensifies. It can't speak in a way you can understand, only through a series of soft, pained cries. It seems to flinch at the question of what happened, as if the memory of it is too fresh and painful. It's focused entirely on the excruciating pain in its wing, which continues to tremble uncontrollably. A single large tear rolls from its eye, tracing a path through the dirt on its cheek. The little opponent is utterly helpless, looking at you with a mixture of terror and desperate hope. Hey, you don't have to be afraid of me. I love Lugia. Give me a second. Here we go, guys. I just said, I'm not gonna hurt you. Will you please let me help you? The Lugia's whimper softens and finally ceases, your words hang in the air between you. Its trembling lessens and it stops attempting to move its shattered wing. Terrified look in its crimson eyes is replaced by a fragile, questioning gaze. It seems to be processing your kind tone. A sound so utterly foreign to its young life. Holy frig, I mean, it kind of makes sense. Lugia simply lies there, its breathing shallow and uneven, its twisted wings still a stark, painful sight. After a long moment, it lets out a soft, almost imperceptible sigh, a sound that carries the weight of its suffering in a silent, desperate plea. The little point is motionless, completely vulnerable, and waiting. Don't worry. Give me a second. Alright, guys. I said I move a little bit closer while grabbing a full restore out of my bag. It's okay, little buddy. I don't want to cause you harm. This ball I have in my hand is a full restore. If you let me put it on your injured wing, the pain will go away if you just lay still. Will you please let me? As you take a slow, deliberate step forward, the Lugia's head dips back slightly, a quiet whimper escaping its throat. Its large eyes, a reflection of its tumultuous journey, dart from your face to the bottle in your hand, then back to your face again. It doesn't recognize the bottle, but it understands your gentle tone, a stark contrast to the harsh voice it had always known. The immense pain radiating from its shattered wing makes its decision for it. Lugia lets out a long, shuddering breath and slowly, deliberately lowers its head to the ground. Its body becomes still, and its eyes, though still filled with a profound weariness, hold a silent, profound consent. It has made its choice. It is ready. Okay, guys. Give me a second. Alright, guys. I said, thank you. This may sting a little bit, but I promise you if you just lay still and let me spray this all over your wing, the pain should go away and you might be able to twist your wing back. Are you ready? The moment the liquid from the force touches the Lugia's injured wing, it lets out a sharp, pained cry. Spike tenses up violently and its eyes shut tightly, bracing for the sting you warned of. But the pain, a searing jolt that threatened to overwhelm it, is immediately replaced by a profound, gentle warmth that spreads from the point of contact throughout its entire body. You can see the magic at work as the gnarled feathers straighten and the twisted bone of its wing audibly, almost miraculously, shifts back into its proper position. The Lugia's cry of pain transforms into a soft gasp of shock. Its large eyes, now wide open, are filled with disbelief as it watches the last signs of injury vanish from its wing. It slowly, cautiously tries to move it. The wing, no longer an agonizing weight, moves freely and without pain. The little pony lets out a cry of pure, unbridled relief. It cheerfully stands up on wobbly legs, stretching its now perfect wing out to its full span before gently folding it back. Its head dips low. Its beak softly touching your arm in a gesture of profound gratitude. I love him. He's already cute. Alright, guys. It says, there you go, little buddy. You still might not want to fly for about 2 to 3 minutes just to make sure it's completely healed. You're super adorable. Now just gently pet the Lugia's beak. The little Lugia lets out a soft, contented cry as your hand gently rests on its beak. It closes its large crimson eyes and leans into your touch, its entire body relaxing. The fear that had been a constant companion in its short life has finally, completely vanished. The young legendary Pokemon, for the very first time, knows what it feels like to be safe. Simply stands there, basking in the warmth of your kindness, a silent and profound peace settling over it. Alright, guys, give me a second. Alright, guys. So I'm glad you're more happy now. I'm glad that you're feeling better. Now that you're not in pain, can you tell me what happened? I never seen a wing twist like that. The Lugia lets out a soft, mournful cry, sounding that's both sad and relieved. Its eyes, which were moments ago filled with contentment, cloud over with a deep, sorrowful emotion. It doesn't answer with words, but with a silent, profound understanding that seems to flow directly into your mind. You're suddenly filled with a flash of images and feelings. It's clear as if they were your own memories. You see a vast dark cavern and hear the sound of cold, mocking laughter. Feel a deep aching hunger and the shame of being laughed at for asking for help. The scene shifts to the vast open sky where you can feel the sting of a sharp winds and the exhaustion of a small body fighting against an unforgiving current. Then comes the terror of a sudden, powerful gust that sends you spiraling, sickening crunch as you collide with a tree, and finally, the white-hot agony of the twisted wing. The visions fade as quickly as they appeared, leaving a heavy feeling of sadness and understanding in your chest. Words that you would weary no one eyes. Its silent story told. It lets out a soft, final cry, as if to say the painful memories are now shared, and the burden is a little lighter. Oh, give me a second. Alright, guys, I said, I'm really sorry that happened to you. Should you just escape from those ones that were laughing at you like that? The Lugia nods its large head slowly, a sad, resigned gesture that confirms your question. Its large crimson eyes, which held images of a family that offered only cruelty, now seem to hold the weight of its entire solitary journey. It looks away for a moment down its newly healed wing, then back to you. The little one's gaze is heavy with the profound loneliness of a creature that had to leave everything behind just to survive. Oh my gosh. Alright, God. So I'm really sorry to hear that. You don't have to go back there if you don't want to. But what are you going to do now that your wing is healed? Lugia's large eyes, once filled with sadness and fear, now look at you with a clarity and peace you hadn't seen before. It takes a slow, deliberate step closer to you, its head still lowered slightly. It seems to be considering your question, looking at the wide open world around you and then back at your kind face. Then, with a soft cry that sounds more content than any noise it has made yet, Lugia takes another step forward, and gently nudges your hand with its beak. Its body now completely relaxed and open. Legendary Point turns its back on the painful life it once knew, choosing to stay right where it is. Uh, give me a second. Alright, guys. I gently pet the baby Lugia on the beak, and I say, "You're such a sweet and precious little thing. I love you. You want to come on with me? You would be much safer there." The Lugia lets out a soft, joyful cry, a sound so full of happiness it feels like a melody. I sort of forget this Lugia has the same children like last time, like we kind of sang. It presses its soft beak against your hand, then gently nuzzles your arm as if to say it has already made its decision. Its large, beautiful eyes, once shadowed by so much pain, are now bright and clear, reflecting a profound sense of peace. The legendary Pokemon takes a step closer, its body settling comfortably beside you. Without a single word, it makes it clear that it has found its new home, and it's ready to follow you anywhere. Okay, this little guy's so cute. Alright, guys. I said, alright. I'm really happy you want to come with me. You don't have to worry. I take care of someone that I love, and you're my favorite legendary. You will be loved like your own son or daughter. Okay, wait. Alright, guys, it says the wolf Lugia lets out a soft, churning cry, a sound of pure contentment that vibrates gently against your hand. Its large, soulful eyes, once so full of terror and pain, now shine with a clarity you haven't seen before. Presses its head against you, and you can feel the warmth of its small body and the immense, overwhelming sense of peace radiating from it. The Lugia has found its home, not in a cavern in the depths of the ocean, but in the heart of the first person who ever showed it true kindness. The lonely, battered little legendary is no longer alone. It's finally safe, and it's loved. He's so cute. I love him. Alright, I know it may not seem like much, but here, you want this? I reach into my bag and grab a berry. Are you hungry? The little Lugia's eyes light up with a soft glow as you hold out the berry. Its head, once lowered in a show of sorrow, lifts to meet your gaze. It looks from the berry to your face as if it can't quite believe the offering. The memory of its parents laughing at its hunger is a distant echo now. With a gentle cry, the Lugia carefully takes the berry from your hand. It eats the small fruit with a quiet contentment that speaks volumes. Its soft coos fill the air. I love it. And then the fact that like, its soft coos, just not just coo, it coos. Look, it's so cute. When it's finished, it nudges your hand with its beak again, a small but profound gesture of thanks. It's clear that the simple act of being fed with love is a comfort it's never known before. But no wonder, based on what I read, its family is horrible. Alright, guys, give me a second. Alright, guys, I said, "Aw, I love you. Do you have a name?" The Woogie lets out a soft, inquisitive coo. Oh my gosh, he cooed again. Every time it goes coo, I love it. I don't care what's doing. I don't care if it's a fragment or a Lugia. I don't care what's making the cooing sound. It just makes me happy. Reading out the word coo just makes me so happy. Especially the way I make the noise. Coo! Just, it's so cute. And tilts its head to the side. Its large, intelligent eyes blinking in a puzzled expression. He didn't understand your feelings, but the word name is clearly a foreign concept to it. Never had one. Not in the cold cavern with its family, and not in its lonely days of searching for food. It looks at you expectingly, its soft, hopeful cry a silent question. What? Han, if you don't have a name, what do you think about Silver? I think it's a beautiful name for you. The Lugia lets out a soft, metallic cry at the sound of the name, as if it recognizes it. It tilts its head again, its large, intelligent eyes studying you. Then it lets out another soft, happy sound, the same one it made when it accepted your help, and gently nudged your hand, as if to say it likes its new name. The lonely, unloved little legendary is no longer nameless. He is now Silver. He's so cute. Alright, guys, I just said, "I'm glad you like it," and I just told him my name. The little Lugia lets out a soft, contented cry as my name is spoken. It looks at me, and its soulful eyes, you can see a spark of recognition as if it's connecting the name to the kind hands that healed it, the voice that offered it food, and the heart that gave it a home. Silver presses its head gently against your side, a silent promise to stay. The wind whispers softly through the trees, a final peaceful sound in the woods. The lost little legendary Pokemon is no longer alone. It's found its person, and in safety its long, painful journey has finally come to an end. So cute. Alright guys, things are already starting to happen. It says, "Alright Silver, let me..." Before I could finish, I heard a deep voice say, "So, I was wondering where my son went, and I find out a human is trying to take him." Then, before I could even react, a massive Lugia, much bigger than Silver, shows up in the sky, looking pretty angry at me. Uh-oh. The sound of the deep, echoing voice cuts through the peaceful moment like a sharp knife. You look up, and the sight of the massive Lugia descending from the sky sends a jolt of ice through your veins. This one is a behemoth, its body a dark, imposing gray. What the frick? Its wingspan casting a shadow that swallows the sunlight. Its eyes, unlike Silver's gentle red, burn with a furious, possessive amber, and every line of its immense body is cold with a menacing anger. Silver, who was just moments ago so peaceful, whimpers and instinctively ducks behind you, small boy trembling violently against your leg. He lets out a low, terrified cry as his eyes lock onto the furious figure of his father. The air suddenly feels charged with a cold, oppressive energy. The menacing silence that follows is more terrifying than any roar. Guys, give me a second. Alright, guys, I just said, whoa! Another Lugia! Where'd you come from? The massive Lugia lets out a low, guttural growl that seems to shake the very ground beneath your feet. A cave in the ocean depths. His voice rumbles, sound as cold and deep as the abyss itself. His burning amber eyes narrow as they fixate on you. The question you should be asking is why I'm here. I'm here for my son. I came to retrieve what's mine. It seems you've been foolish enough to stand in my way. Uh, Vince Point takes a slow deliberate step forward. It's immense form blocking the sun completely. Several whimpers behind you, pressing himself as close as he can to your leg, his body trembling violently. Fire's gaze is a weight, a heavy, cold anger that promises nothing but destruction if you don't comply. I don't like the thought of that. I said, whoa, I'm not trying to hurt your son. Please just don't hurt me. I don't mean you or your son any harm. The massive Lugia lets out a sound that is half a scoff and half a low growl. The disdain in its voice is palpable as it speaks, the sound a low, cold rumble that seems to shake the air around you. Harm? You think I believe that? It sneers, then eyes brown with contempt. You are holding what is mine. You have no right to it. My son is my property, and it seems you're filled his head with foolish sentiment. You have two choices. You can step away from my son, or you can be moved. Oh, shoot. Massive One takes another deliberate, menacing step forward. A powerful gust of wind rushes from its wings, making the leaves on the nearby trees tremble violently and sending a shower of pine needles to the ground around you. Silver's trembling becomes more frantic, and he lets out a quiet, terrified sob, clinging to your leg. Give me a second, guys. He's super angry. I'm so screwed. I said, I understand that. Please don't attack me. I swear I don't mean you any harm. I don't even have none of my point with me to attack you. All one here is me, you, and your son. Do you think I kidnapped your son or something? Because I promise that's not what it looks like. The massive Lugia's low growl fills the air. It watches you with cold contempt. Its immense vibrating a menace that makes the hair on your arms stand on end. Do you think I care about your excuses, human? Its voice rumbles, a sound as chilling as a winter storm. I found my son with you. That's all the evidence I need. He has been gone for days, and he looks weak and pathetic. It's your fault. What? The Lugia's burning amber eyes bore into yours, completely devoid of empathy and understanding. Give me back what is mine. Oh shoot. With a sudden violence when the fire Lugia's wings flare out, a clear sign of his escalating anger. The words are terrified sobbing behind you, trying so hard you can feel it through your leg. Space between you and the massive pond feels impossibly small, and it's clear that your pleas for peace are falling on deaf ears. Oh, this is just great. Alright, guys. I just said, wait, you've got it all wrong. I didn't hurt your son. I helped him. I found him injured next to the tree over here. His wing was all twisted and hurt. If I hurt him, he'd be in much worse condition right now. He's terrified, not injured. I used a force sword to heal his wing. The Mazabugi's burning eyes narrow into slits, and a low, lumbering growl builds in his chest. Sound as a dark, heavy vibration that makes the very air feel heavy with menace. You helped him? His voice thunders filled with scornful rage. He was supposed to be learning a lesson. That twisted wing was a consequence of his own incompetence. The enormous pawn's body seems to grow even larger with fear. Oh no, you interfered. You gave him your foolish human sentiment and coddled him, preventing him from facing the reality of his own pathetic weakness. Oh my gosh. Farlug's wings flare out again and the air around it clouds with power. The only lesson he's going to learn now is that there are consequences for running away, and you learn not to interfere with what is mine. It's how a deafening roar that echoes through the forest. The sound so powerful it forces you to shield your ears. Silver shrieks from behind you, pressing himself against your leg, utterly terrified. Okay, well, we're not getting through him. I don't know what to do. Okay, this father is really stubborn. Just wait, please, I beg you, don't attack. Please listen to me. If you don't believe anything I say, then look at your son. He's not mad that I healed him. He was happy that I did that. Look at him right now. He's terrified, and if I did anything to scare him, he wouldn't be hiding behind me. I understand you're angry. I swear to you, I don't mean you any harm, and that goes for your son. I don't hurt anyone I care about, and Lugia is my favorite legendary. I'm just asking you to not to hurt me. Please. The massive Lugia's contemptuous glare intensifies. Oh my gosh. It lets out a low humorous chuckle that is more terrifying than a roar. Look at him. Its voice rumbles, dripping with scorn. Look at what you have done to him. He is pathetic, weak, and now you have him whimpering like a lost Pokemon. The immense Lugia's entire body seems to vibrate with a cold, righteous fury. Its amber eyes walk on you, utterly devoid of any flicker of understanding or compassion. Your care is poison, Lugia declares, the source of its voice like rolling thunder. A pathetic human weakness that you are trying to inflict on what is mine. It rears its massive head back, and a sickly green light begins to gather at the tip of its beak. A visible and terrifying manifestation of psychic energy. You've had your chance to step aside. Now you are in the consequence of touching what is not yours. As the energy swells, building on a high-pitched shriek of pure terror erupts from Silver, a final desperate warning. What am I supposed to do? You can't. Silver can't step in. He's so small. Okay, I think we just found like one of the most toxic Lugia parents. I said, wait, please don't. You're not only going to hurt me, you're going to hurt your son doing that. What you say is poison, honestly, is something that works well with my Pokemon. Islanders like your species that fight just as hard and try just as much, and I give this one so much love. The massive Lugia's head rears back, its menacing glare burning with pure rage. It lets out a deep, echoing laugh that's more contemptuous than a roar. Love! The voice booms, a dark, synodical sound that seems to echo from the very heart of the ocean. A legendary Pokemon does not need your pathetic human love. And you, human, have no idea what it takes to be. What? Okay. The sickening green glow at the tip of its beak intensifies that energy crackling with a deadly force. The energy crackling with a deadly force. The Lugia form seems to tremble with the power it's got. You have defied me. You accorded my son with your foolish kindness, and now you will learn what happens when you anger a true legend. Excuse me, I'm not even trying to hurt you. The light beak flares into a blinding, painful flash. Then a frantic, terrified shriek, a sound of pure horror as the massively unleashes the attack directly at you. The concentrated power of the sight of blast tearing through the air. Oh no. Are you serious? Give me a second. Alright, guys. I said, Silver, jump out of the way, quick. Now I jump out of the way of the attack. Lugia, please, I understand you're angry. I asked you to calm down and talk to me. I'm not trying to upset you. I'm trying to talk to you, understand you. Please, you're going to end up hitting your son doing that. You duck out of the way just in time. Sickly green blast of sight energy scream past your head with a powerful force. That slides into a heavy oak tree behind you. The powerful strike leaving a charred, splintered gorge in the wood and sending a shower of bark and leaves flying. Mazavulia's voice, a cold rumble of furious rage, echoes through the silence that follows. Talk to you, human. It sneers, its amber eyes burning with a disdain so potent it feels like ice. I'm a god of the ocean. I have no need to talk to a pathetic, insignificant creature like you. Orly's menacing glare shifts to the trembling form of Silverhome. And as for my son, if he is foolish enough to get in my way, he'll learn a lesson about obedience. The low growl, the massive Lugia begins to gather another, even more potent surge of psychic power, and around it begins to crackle with an ominous energy. Silver lets out a high-pitched cry of pure terror, his small body shaking uncontrollably as he instinctively clings to you. Give me a second, guys. Alright, guys, I said, Lugia, I understand you're angry, but I want to understand why. If you think I kidnapped your son or something, I would never do that. I understand you're the guardian of the sea. Perhaps we were taking care of a few Lugias before. I've never hurt a single one of them, and I would never hurt your son. The Lugia lets out a deep, echoing laugh that's filled with pure scorn. You have taken care of my kind. It booms, the sound of low cold from what it seems to shake the ground beneath your feet. You think a pathetic human can take care of a legend? We are gods, not pets. Mentally gets amber eyes narrow into slits, and a terrifying light begins to glow in them. You are not a guardian. You are a parasite who thinks they can control what is meant to be free. Harley rears its massive head back, the glowing energy at its beak intensifying to a blinding, painful light. Aircraft with immense power, and a deafening roar of pure fear erupts from the immense Pokemon. A blast of psychic energy is fired directly at you, and screaming as the attack rips through the space between you. So what's a terrified shriek, his small body trembling violently as he holds behind you, utterly helpless against his father's rage. And I swear if I try to name and call him Silverwing, I'm screwed. Give me a second. Lugia actually showed up when I called his name. As I jump out of the way of the attack, I can prove it to you. Just please stop trying to attack me. Watch. Silverwing, please, I need you. Where are you, my friend? You missed it one out of the way. The sight was nearly missing your head. Oh my gosh, the Lugia's trying to get a headshot. It's under the trees behind you, a deafening explosion of sound and energy that obliterates the wood, sending splintered, sharp, knowing dust flying through the air. Massive Lugia's head snaps to attention, its enraged expression replaced by a look of content as it watches you, the human, somehow survive its attack. Another of my kind? The fire Lugia scoffs, a low rumbling sound. You think another legend would listen to your pathetic pleas? Before the words have even fully left its mouth, a new sound begins to fill the air. The wind, which was just a moment ago a weapon of destruction, now carries a rhythmic, powerful beat of massive wings. From the clouds above, a second equally massive Lugia descends. This one's different. Its body is shining percilient white. Its eyes a calm, brilliant blue that radiate a serene authority. Second Lugia floats between you and the enraged father, its head held high, with a deep, resonant cry that isn't a challenge, but a statement of its presence. The furious father's Lugia's roar dies in its throat. Its amber eyes welcome the new arrival with a mixture of rage and shock. Silver, who was just trembling in terror behind you, peeks out and lets out a small, questioning cry. Its eyes wide with a fragile hope. The entire forest falls silent as the two titans face each other, the air heavy with tension. Holy crap. There we go. Alright, guys. It says, Silverwing, thank you for coming, my friend. I really appreciate it. I love you. The enormous Lugia, Silverwing, lets out a soft metallic cry, a sound of profound reassurance that seemed to wash away the last ringing fear from the air. Its great head dips in a gentle nod, acknowledging both your thanks and your love. The enraged fire Lugia, stunned and outmatched, lets out a low, frustrated huff. His burning amber eyes dart between you and the serene figure of Silverwing. He knows he has been beaten, not by force, but by a power far greater. Love and loyalty. A final defeated roar that holds none of its previous fury, he turns and soars into the sky, disappearing into the clouds. The moment he is gone, the tension completely drains from the air. Silver, the baby Lugia, lets out a trembling cry, no longer of fear, but of immense relief. He comes out from behind you and presses himself against your leg, looking up at Silverwing with a look of pure gratitude. Three of you stand together in the now peaceful forest, two Lugia finally free from the life of that, and one human who made a family out of thin air. Oh my gosh. Alright, it says, I go over to Silverwing and hug him. Thank you so much. Though you kept trying to attack me, he wouldn't stop no matter what I told him. If I didn't call you, he probably would have eventually hit me with an attack. Silverwing lets out a low, comforting cry as you hug him, a sound that resonates deep within your chest. His massive bite, a beacon of serene power, gently leans into your embrace. His beautiful blue eyes, filled with a deep, knowing empathy, look from your face to the small, trembling form of Silver held by your side. It's clear that he understands the fear you felt, the desperation of your situation, and the profound cruelty of the other Lugia. He lets out another soft, resonant coo, a sound that was like a promise before gently nuzzling his head against you. Hair around you, once heavy with tension, is now filled with a sense of profound peace and safety. You are no longer alone. You are protected. Okay, that is really awesome. I love it. Alright guys, just a hug Silverwing for a little bit longer, then go over to the baby Lugia Silver. You're safe now, my friend. We can't take any chances. Hey Silverwing, is it possible you could teleport back home to my house where I take care of you? Can't risk just walking back at this rate because I might get tapped by the other Lugia again. You hug Silver for a little bit and he leans into your touch, his little body no longer trembling with fear. Look up at Silverwing, he meets your gaze with calm understanding. That's how low resonant coo until he dips his massive head in a slow, deliberate nod. A moment later, a brilliant flash of blue light erupts around all of you, warm, tingling energy that envelops you completely. For a brief instant, you feel like you're flying through a tunnel of pure energy, sight and sound of the forest blurring into a stream of light. Then, as suddenly as it began, the sensation stops. The light fades, and you find yourself standing in the familiar, comforting surroundings of your living room. Large bay windows show the familiar trees outside, their menacing shadows, but a part of your peaceful world. Silver, dull but safe, looks around in awe, while a massive form of Silverwing stands tall and majestic. Is Lugia in my house just holding or just staying there? Like, is he actually? Is that house big enough where he can hold a Lugia? Where's the silent promise of protection? You were home and you were all safe. Good. Alright, guys. I said thank you, Silverwing. If it wasn't for you, I would have been very injured. Me and Silver both. You can go ahead and head back outside now and relax like you were with my other Pokemon. Please keep an eye out just in case another angry Lugia comes by. Still don't understand why the other Lugia was so angry. Silverwing lets out a low, resonant coo in response to your thanks, a sound of gentle reassurance. He gives a slow, deliberate nod of his massive head, showing that he understands your request to keep watch. He begins to turn and move toward the door, a series of images and feelings, cold and heavy, flow into your mind. You feel a deep, burning pride, a sense of absolute a sense of absolute superiority that sees emotion and connection as weaknesses. You feel a profound anger at a creature that does not live up to expectations, a creature that got hurt and needed help. Feeling as that of a powerful, unfeeling being who believes his kind should be above such things. The anger was not from a place of concern, but from a place of shame. Lugia was not angry because he lost his son. He was angry because his son proved to be weak, and you, a human, had the audacity to show compassion. Feelings are gone as quickly as they appeared, leaving a chill in the air. Silverwing looks at you for a moment longer, his blue eyes hold a deep, profound understanding, and calmly glides out the door. The outside world now is now his to watch over. Holy crap. It did work out at the end, but like still, if you compare this to ChatGPT, it's nowhere near how good ChatGPT used to be. And unfortunately, the ones that are kind of like it get ruined by the fact that it flipping doesn't have a good enough memory. But yeah, that's it, guys. I'm done. Next time you see me, you might be having me being tortured because let's just say, male dog, big yap yap. And we're not even talking about chaos. We're talking about a different dog. Even if I don't have to deal with him that much, whether you see me upstairs, like I said, I may be stuck upstairs for 3 days. I don't know anymore. We'll have to figure it out. If that dog starts on me like more than once, I'm going upstairs. I'm not dealing with it. I'll go up there. I'll go up there for 3 days for all I care. I don't care anymore because I'm not gonna get stressed like I already am half the time. Anyway, I'm done. Bye.